are going to provide you with insecurity.
As far as I'm concerned, Monday Okpevholo has delivered on his promise. Monday Okpevholo was very vocal on national television when he promised Edo people insecurity. And faithfully, Edo State has, since he's been sworn in, been thrown into a tumultuous state where bedlam is let loose on our streets on a daily basis. The insecurity is so pervasive that you even have his own security network that he set up going out on an insurrection against government. The health sector going out on a strike against government's policy. Market women on a daily basis on our streets blocking major highways against the horrendous policies being visited on them by the government in place. Drivers unions on our streets going out on a daily basis protesting against the kind of oppression that the policy of the government has put in place. And even to collect government revenue, which is supposed to be a civilized automated process as left by Governor Obaseki, we now have to hire an apalakpa, which in Edo's translation means tiger, to enforce collection of revenue, because we are in a state where jungle justice is the only language we understand. So Monday Okpevholo have delivered on his promise. The promise was, I will visit you with insecurity. And that is why he thinks that the Tebuga road that Obaseki constructed, which Okpevholo quickly ran there after he was sworn in to try and lay ownership to, that he's the one constructing it. And that is why he thinks that all the other projects like the Technical School Road, which is known to all, that Obaseki started and was constructing both the road on Majorny Street, is attributing it to Okpevholo. I am looking for, and the reason why I'm not surprised not to see, is because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a structured manifesto and a structured action plan for a state, how are you going to be able to carry out projects? You don't have a plan guiding you. So what we hear is every analyst who is going to talk about Okpevholo has his own manifesto and what he thinks Okpevholo says he's going to do. If you bring another analyst here that has a different agenda, and that's why the state cannot say we are holding you responsible to this. The only one he promised he has fulfilled, which is violence. So the governor has no direction. He has broken down all institutions of technology that he met. We delivered to Okpevholo a 3-tier data center that has 1.5 terabytes in government house. We delivered to him e-governance, automated and operating by technology. We delivered to him 3,000 kilometers fiber optics. We delivered to him cyber security on all Edo State data. All of those technological structure that he met on ground and IT structure that he met on ground, they are not operating them today. Now, he's talking about schools. Where has he found money to repair so many schools as you are saying? New Era was started to be repaired by Oshomole, who built halls and left classrooms. When Obaseki came, Obaseki said you cannot just build halls because you use it for activities of making money and you have left classrooms. Obaseki started to revamp New Era. I'm surprised that he's attributing that to Okpevholo. So the point is, the man has nothing. He came with a vendetta to attack all Obaseki's projects. He came with a whim to rule from, offhand, from the whim and caprice of his mind. And so what we have today is a depiction of the kind of cognitive retardedness that is governing our state. That's what our state has become. Night has been thrown back into darkness. Everywhere is dark now in the city. He cannot sustain the street light he met because the agility with which to fund power supply for those street lights is absent. Okay, we find a governor who comes out with different letters and different signatures, and both signatures read underneath HE, the governor of Edo State, and two signatures are different. So how can a man who cannot even sign signature properly, whose signature is irregular, deliver on anything? All right, thank you. What we have is a state of anomy. That's what we have in Edo State right now. But you cannot use flyover as an indices of progress. It is retarded economics. Progress of the economy is what increases and improves upon the lives of the people by way of improving the GDP, standard of life, peace and welfare of the people. So if you want to build flyover, that's fine. I can decide to construct roads. In fact, that reminds me, the road, the Tebuga he's saying, the Marshall Plan of Obaseki was to link Tebuga to Uwelu. So Edo State is the most connected state in the entire West Africa. And if I were to tie the roads in Benin City, I won't need a flyover. But if you want to provide a flyover, by all means do so. But don't put a flyover there as if it is one-stop gap for all of the other projects that you ought to do as a government. Well, Andrew said we should not come here to deceive the people.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But you see, even if you don't mean to deceive the people, as I think you don't mean to deceive the people, Andrew, if you don't have full information, you can still deceive the people. The term, this road belongs to the federal government, did not start in Edo State. If you are a child of history, it was the present president, Bola Tinubu, who put it out in Lagos State when he was suffering, the same suffering that he has visited on Obaseki. Because he wanted to create local government areas in Lagos State and Obasanjo was opposed to it, Obasanjo abandoned Lagos State. And Lagosians were criticizing Tinubu for not creating those roads that went to Sangwater. And so Tinubu put the signboard there. This is not a state government road, it's federal government road. Ekpe. So as to educate the people. Now what they are doing is reversing that. When Obaseki was there, you saw the letters. Obaseki had applied to repair this road. They replied him, the Minister of Work replied him, that is a federal government road and gave conditions that no human being can meet on this earth. For him, it was in the news, in public space. And now Obaseki came out and cried. And they left that road in disrepair until they appointed a governor for Edo State. And now as a political score point, because the reason why Okpevholo was appointed for Edo State was because of 2027. As a political score point for 2027, they are fixing the roads and then you are taking credit for it. Are you going to encourage that kind of governance where the state will use its power to muzzle opposition governments because they want to give credit to their own appointed governors? So if you talk about lying to the people, that's a very structured lie. The fact is that the federal government that is repairing the road now was there during Obaseki. Why didn't they do it? When it became a hue and cry, why didn't they intervene at that time? They left it to score cheap political points. That's not good governance. I'll tell you something. What people didn't know was that during Oshomole, you had that arrangement with the federal government. It was not only Oshomole. Many state governments embarked, which are big deals and so on and so forth, and then you were reimbursed. That government of Buhari, which is the APC government, made it very clear, and that's part of the condition. You are not going to get any reimbursement if you spend your money. And then they gave all the conditions. And then when he applied the second time, they told him it's federal government road, the road had been awarded. And it remained awarded for about 2 or 3 years before Obaseki left there. All of these things are in public domain. So he couldn't go against the law. He was not going to be reimbursed. When you say that Ugbikoko Road, which Obaseki started, and then have not completed, and then a government comes in to continue the road, and you say for 90 days, you pick that one road and you are pointing to ITV, and you are calling that achievement, it shows the low level, what do you call it now, opinion these people have about Edo people. Just as we are rejoicing over a flyover that we have not seen. See, when you talk about governance, you are talking about the intellectual input in planning and structuring your government. You are not going to tell us to wait, and then we will see. In Obaseki's time, what they call him wait and see, was that they woke up and saw structures, they woke up and saw delivery. We don't have a plan. We don't know where this guy is going. That is what you have to see in 100 days. That look at the government's trajectory in education, look at its trajectory in this. We don't have that plan. We go to Ugbikoko roads and continue where Obaseki stopped, and we say he's constructing roads everywhere. Where is he constructing any road? What is his own plan? Is he thinking, as Obaseki did, of opening up rural area like Ibiri, Amagba, and so on and so forth to expand the urban congestion? Is that the policy? Is that his policy? We don't know. We don't know his policy on education apart from going to one school and the doors in that school and the roof in that school. Certainly he didn't wearing his own. When the roof was removed in New Era, and then you begin to touch the doors, and you call that an education plan? What is the education plan? The person came out with Edobest. It was a plan. And Edobest delivered taps. 11,000 people to the train. That was a New Era when they gave them their taps. Let me finish. No, you're disturbing me. That is why in Edo State today, Obaseki transformed all sectors with technology and won the best technology governor given by your own federal government shortly before he left office. Tabs are being used by we are being used by teachers. Tabs that had imputed in them pedagogic materials. Now teachers are complaining, they've taken the tax from them. I have evidence of that. And they are complaining that the job is now so tedious. Edo State started producing the best kids for JSS exam consecutively for the past 3 years. Okay. The same thing for WAEC. Their numeracy skills and then literacy skills were top in the country. Are these things not in the public domain? So, which is the benefit of learning by technology? Oh yeah. Any government who will not embrace technology in this modern time has no direction. That is the truth. Everybody and everything has gone technological. You plot your graphs via technology. So you don't do hit and miss, random and show it on ITV so that you can say you are tired.
People are going through a lot of hardship and a lot of suffering, but I just ask them to stay strong and to stay prayerful.